What
Yes.
it do? There we go. Countdown's live. This is Wheel Talks. I'm Marty O'Connor alongside your boy.
Sonny Dean Casebauer.
Middle name too. I like that.
Make it official.
I like
today.
that.
Make it official.
Yeah. Today's episode brought to you by Zappos Adaptive. Got to be looking fresh. If you're going to do it, you might as well go to Zappos Adaptive. Helping out all of us quad folk, all of us, disabled, making things easy, to put on, make you look fresh at the same time.
If you want to look like Mills on Wheels, denim, then go to Zappos Adaptive. They'll help you out.
Check it out, boys. All right. So today we're getting into some very special stuff for you.
Relationships.
Yeah, relationships and shits.
Mostly shits.
Yes. But, some of this stuff, I'm going to get vulnerable today.
Very. I might cry. I'm going to expose my heart. I always wear it on my sleeve, hence the tattoo.
Shed some tears, cause some tears.
Be real about it, though.
So if you wronged me in the past, this is your episode. Ready?
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Have I been wronged? Actually, I probably did more of the wronging, but lately I've been on the other side of the stick. So
yeah, right. We're still single, right?
Very.
Okay, so it's all your fault. So
at this point, my number will come across the screen. So if you're interested, let me know.
There we go. All right, so Sonny, I want to start things off, man.
All right,
so
sounds good.
Relationships, like after getting hurt, man. I know it's a totally different experience. I want to start off by how's that been for you? How's it going? Start it off, baby.
Well, relationships since my injury is let's just say it's been a learning experience. But you know what? It hasn't jaded me. It's just been different. Mm-hmm. Before my accident, obviously, you lead a lot with your physicality.
Totally.
So there's always one end goal. Usually, with most people, especially guys, we kind of want to spread our seeds. We're all about one thing. So after the injury, I've kind of learned to kind of have more diverse and more vulnerable relationships, and I've learned to kind of get to know somebody in a more intimate level. Intimacy has more than just physicality attached to it. What do you think about that?
No, dude, 100%. And I think it's been such a trip, going from, in my experience, I was in a 5.5-year relationship.
Woo!
That was like before I got hurt. It lasted about a year after the injury happened. And then, once that relationship ended, it wasn't shit, whatever. Once it ended, dude, it took me a while.
Still in love.
Yeah,
that's okay.
No, dude, it took a while. It took me a long time to find my confidence again. To be able to put myself out there, because this was like a whole new thing for me. Like, I was used to carrying myself a certain way, I was used to, basically just kind of having that swag in the bag and, letting me
swag in the bag,
do my thing. And like, it was a lot easier back then. And now it's like, and it's so much harder, like when you're insecure. And I was so wildly insecure at that point too. So like, it took a long time to get that confidence back. And then, I had this like, people basically just pushing me into it. Like, man, you got to put yourself back out there. It's going to be uncomfortable, but you got to do it.
First of all, I find it widely crazy you to be insecure. Like, when you say that, I'm like, get the out of here with that. Like, you're a good looking dude, man. You had all the credentials. You had the education. You had all the career going. You had you're physically a tall guy, handsome, blue eyes. I mean, it's crazy for you to be insecure, honestly.
Well, thank you for that.
But
I think we
should date each other, actually.
Yeah.
We're swinging out everywhere
else. The show
else.
doesn't work out. None of you guys work out.
Other,
then here we go.
Yeah.
But no, I think that just kind of goes to show the power of the mind and how how powerfully positive it can be, but also like the negative side of it and like what it can do to you as a person. Like,
I agree.
I know for me, I've been like insanely hard on myself since a very young age. And, especially after that relationship ended, it like got really hard. I was like really having to
probably question things about yourself you never had to question before.
Question them again, and now to a even deeper level, and just didn't even know like how to broach the subject. And honestly, it's like it's been a really like good process, a long, painful, shitty process a lot of times, but like it has allowed me to be a better partner. In a lot of ways, you know what I mean? Because addressing my insecurities and being able to learn how to love myself, you can't love someone else until you love yourself, and I think that's been a big thing for me. And
I think that was like the thing I never took time for.
Yeah.
I think I was so busy and so caught up in like reputation, because as guys, we kind of always think the guys who are getting all the girls are cool. you know, and like I just put too much of my time and energy trying to be cool. As in nowadays, it's like it's weird. It's like I tell everybody all the time, like my wheelchair, this isn't the biggest insecurity I have, but you get to see it, we get to talk about it. Where I feel like other people have insecurities, but they're hidden, you know, behind closed doors.
They hide about it. They hide behind a filter, hide behind a post, hide behind likes. You know, it's like the world we're living in now. You know,
we have so many different masks out there. You know, and it's nowadays. I almost in an awkward way appreciate the fact that mine is so upfront and center. Because now we can talk about it. Now we get to approach it. And my hope is that by me being emotionally vulnerable and telling you about this kind of stuff, it allows you to feel comfortable enough to tell me about the things that bother you, that upset you. That kind of opens up that floodgate there. But it's made me more well-rounded where before it was like, if a girl's pretty, good looking, yeah, let's go on a date. Now I find myself trying to find that best friend type of relationship. What about you?
Yeah, for sure. I think the biggest thing that's changed is just like leading with a whole lot of communication and making sure it's right before you even move forward with anything. I think just given our situation, having chairs, there's a situation that needs to be talked about and addressed before you do. You know, I think a big thing is setting expectations, or you know what to expect. You know, and that's just what you need to do in this situation. At least that would be my advice. And I think, but because of that, it's allowed me to just dive deeper into relationship, and things are slower, more organic, kind of moving. We're all about organic because it's California,
very organic, healthy.
local, organic.
It's very spiritual.
Exactly.
Yes.
But it's a healthier relationship.
To kind of touch on that too, I feel like in relationships now, everybody's looking for the instant gratification. We feel like love is one click away, one swipe away.
Yeah, right.
And I feel like with our life, the way it is now, we almost have to pre-plan our whole entire day before we do it. We still have spontaneity. We can still pick up and go and do whatever we want to do, whenever we want to do it. But I think because of our situations, though, we've learned that the slow burn, the things that really take time to develop are more worthwhile.
That's the secret sauce.
You know, and that's the one thing I can encourage anybody out there. You don't have to be in a wheelchair. You don't have a disability, just life in general. If you can relax on the quick gratification and instead really try to get to know who you're getting involved in, really try to get to know yourself, your relationships, whether or not they work out, you'll learn something. They'll be more fulfilling.
That's been the biggest thing. It's like learning each time what worked for you, what didn't work for your partner, and then being able to learn off of that, and just like take it into your next relationship, not, chalking it up to, this sucks and I'm never going to be able to date again. Thought this was the right person and blah, blah, blah. You just have to keep putting yourself out there because every relationship that fails is leading to the one that's, going to last forever, and it sucks in the time because obviously, the heart and feelings, it's all, very strong emotions in relationships. And, that's why it's such a strong bond between two people, but it's like, you have to be able to put yourself out there and just learn each and every time and learn who you are and what you want out of things. So, cause people change, situations change, and then, that weighs on the relationship. But, when you're battle tested and you've been through it a few times, you kind of know how to work through it.
I think let's talk about some of the tougher things. I know for a fact, because I've later found out or later had the conversation about it, but I know for a fact relationships didn't work because of the wheelchair. And that's been hard for me to swallow. But I think at the same time, though, it's kind of like it's made me address it and figure it out. And I think that like dealing with some of the hard stuff and just getting it out of the way in the beginning it just forms a good foundation for something that will last longer. Like you need a good foundation to have a great house. What are some of the harder things that you've had to deal with in a relationship? Like communication, what's been like some of the kind of the potholes you've had to kind of get over?
Well, I think, each person that you date has their own quirks, their own things that are hard to deal with. I think, like big picture things is just my confidence has been one big one. Like wanting to be a certain kind of boyfriend, being a certain kind of partner to do things, and not necessarily, wanting a relationship that I could provide, but, wanting something else that I couldn't make happen. And it was just like, well, that's just completely stupid, because then you're going to, make your partner feel bad for wanting to be with you. And like it's just been that has been like one of my biggest things, that over time, that confidence has gotten higher and higher, and I'm doing things, more of, exactly what means something to me,
Yeah.
means something to the partner, and just, so the confidence is big. But then, dealing with people that, don't want to communicate. If they're having a rough day and they're the silent type and want to like shut down and not talk about things, not like I'm like, oh my God, tell me about your day. Like, how's this? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But it's like, you need to be able to work through things and talk through things.
Yeah.
And if it's just like, they need time to be able to cool off for a bit, like be able to voice that.
Yeah.
But it just, the guessing game is the hardest thing. In case, all you ladies haven't noticed out there, guys are a little dumb, kind of need to know, like, what you're thinking, because we're not mind readers.
I mean,
even
we're
as
from
much as we
Mars and they're from Venus.
You know,
so, I mean, they
and
can at least help us out a little bit.
A little bit, right?
Right.
It's all alien to us.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, it's,
just putting it out there and, setting expectations, and stop with the guessing game or any games for that matter, because that's the shit that's hard, because then you're like trying to do the right thing, and when really it could just all be solved with a little bit of communication.
I think it's actually interesting that I feel like roles have reversed these days.
In what way?
Well, before my accident, and maybe, because it's been almost 7 years now, so I want to say like at least 10 years ago, we used to be the ambiguous ones. We used to not talk about our feelings. We used to always be like surface and kind of like keep things, fresh and light, and never want to talk about anything important. And every time a girl would want to pressure me into like something about a relationship, I'd just get like cold feet and I'd like run for the hills. Nowadays, like me trying to have a conversation about anything that's not surface has almost backfired in a way. It's almost like girls are more promiscuous, not than ever, and they're more excited to do other things. But like to me, like the common bond is having that emotional intimacy. I call it pillow talk. Like if I can't have a relationship where we could just kind of, after everything else has happened, kind of lay and watch TV and kind of exchange our thoughts and our emotions.
Yeah.
I just don't feel that connection anymore. It's got to be more than physical nowadays.
Well, how much time in a relationship, like say you get married in life, it's like that you're doing nothing. That's the moment.
Yes.
That's the moment that you have to be able to, have that, that meaningful communication, figure out what the hell your love language is, and I've been hit. I think that's a big thing, dude. Girls like, what's your love language? I'm like English? I don't know. Like,
I don't know Chinese food. Like, I don't know. Let me ask you this, though.
I don't know. What's up?
In most of your relationships, have you found it hard, or have you found girls reluctant to talk to you about what you go through every day?
Yeah, I think a lot of people, and girls in our case are, not everyone, but some people are just hesitant to ask. Like they want to, maybe because they care and they want to be able to like be that person for you, but they want to like figure it out and like guess and like not like pry and, really kind of put themselves in your shoes for a minute or something. It's just, I think that just, it all goes back to communication again, where people are just reluctant to really find out what the other person's wants and needs are, or even just how they're freaking feeling,
It's crazy. I've only had maybe one girl ever really ask me, like, we were dating for like 3 or 4 months, and about 4 months into it, she's like, okay, listen, like, it's cool. I know you're a positive person. I know you're happy, but like, what is the real shit you go through? Like, what are the real emotions you feel when your head hits that pillow at night? But for the most part, most people in general, not just women though, are like afraid to ask. And the thing is there's nothing to be afraid of. It's real. It's genuine. Like, listen, like what you see on Instagram, what you see in here, what you see there, and this applies to everybody. That's 10% of their life. What we go through each and every day, our adversities are all different shapes and sizes. And just because ours may look insurmountable or like, wow, I can't imagine what you go through every day, it doesn't mean I don't have compassion about what you go through every day.
Right.
And I actually loved it when this girl broke it down. Like, listen, I really want to hear what you go through. I really want to hear like some of the stuff you think and like how you operate each and every day. I found it so insightful, but I found it so endearing, and it really helped me open up.
I think one thing going off of that though is one thing I hate is when people like minimize their problems because they think that what I'm going through is just so much worse than anything they could ever go through. And it's just like, I know this is not nearly as bad as, what you have to deal with on a day to day.
I call it a qualifier.
Yeah, it's just,
it's
like, you know what? Like, if it affects you,
yeah, then
it affects you. And I care because I care about you.
Yeah.
And I want you to feel safe to be able to communicate anything and talk about it and see how I could be there for you. But don't like minimize your problems because you think, it's, I mean, yeah, this sucks. Like, obviously everyone knows like what we're going through isn't an ideal situation. It is what it is. But just like, we go into these relationships, you got to put each other on a level playing field, treat each other as equals, and your problems are, like, you can't just say like my problems are worse than your problems.
No.
So I don't, give a shit about what happened to you today. Like, what do you think I got to go through? Like, and if anyone's jumping down your throat like that, just bail. Like, that's not the way to do it.
Not at all. Transitioning this to a little bit lighter though is I actually waited a full year before I decided to put myself back out in the dating scene.
Longer for me, bro.
I waited a whole year. I was like, listen, I've gone through a lot. I want to focus on myself, get myself right.
Mm-hmm.
So I waited the whole year. Finally get the courage. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do this. I think my mom set a profile up for me on christiansmingles.com.
Stop.
So, I swear
Are
to
you
God.
serious?
She's like, you need to find yourself a nice religious girl that will take care of you.
Okay. I mean, yeah. Thanks.
That's why I was
Mom.
like, all right, Mom, let's do this. somewhat embarrassed, but like, you know what? Like,
Hey, she's good looking out, dude.
I'm just trying to figure this all out. Maybe I need to find a religious girl here.
Yeah.
So so I decide, okay, I'm gonna meet her at a cool place like a hookah lounge. It's not a bar, so we're not gonna be drinking, but maybe we could some music, lights, whatever. So when I get there, though, I'm still embarrassed of the wheelchair, right?
Yeah.
So I tell the guy that's the manager, I'm like, dude, ditch the wheelchair, throw it in the back, throw it in the dump. I don't care, just get rid of it. So she doesn't see it. She just
Does she
sees
know
me
though?
first.
Does she know though?
She knows. She knows.
Okay,
Hey,
okay.
she knows my situation. I was very upfront and honest about it.
Okay.
Which I just feel like they got to know because can't really hide this. So. Anyway, she gets there, and I'm hanging on the couch. I just sitting there, no chair, just me, and it's going well. We're kind of holding hands, kissing a little bit. And at the time, I kind of know when I have to pee, and I had a leg back at the time, which if you don't know, I'll explain it, later on or maybe in the bio or something. But anyways, I reach down, and I'm like, this thing's bone dry. That's not good because I've peed like 3 or 4 times, you know?
Oh, God.
So I just nonchalantly kind of grab my crotch and it's wet. And I mean, it is soaked. And I'm like, Jesus, first time I go on a date, this is what's going to happen to me, So I melt down. I don't know what I gave the guy. I gave him like my J.C. Penney's card to pay the bill. He's like, yeah, this doesn't work. Dude, I don't know where you're from. So this girl sees me melting. Like, I can't even pay my bill. I convinced her to leave before me because I'm just so damn embarrassed.
Oh, buddy.
And then my buddy comes and helps me and drives me home. And as I get off that couch, I mean, it smells like tuna and just pee. It was terrible.
Poor guy, man.
And that was my first dating experience after I put myself on the sidelines for a year. But you know what, though? Like, in a weird way, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Because I always felt after that happened, the worst thing that's ever going to happen to me on a date happened. She didn't even notice. We went on multiple dates after that.
Mm-hmm.
I finally told her way down the line. But my point is like sometimes we go through some certain stuff and we don't really understand why at that moment. Mm-hmm. But after going through that, it gave me supreme confidence going forward. Because literally in my mind, it can never get any worse than that. And I still went forward. And then, like, I just encourage you, never, ever give up on trying to find the right one. Or if something doesn't go your way, it's not always about you. It could be about a million different other things.
Yeah. Well, dude, with the experience, now you get to pass it on. Now you got the guidelines. Well,
if you don't pee your pants, you're not the coolest.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Billy Madison.
Consider me, Miles Davis.
You're not the coolest.
Well, dude, all right. So, I mean, that's a good one.
Do you have any good stories?
Okay, yeah. I mean, like this chick, right? So this is probably maybe a few girls down the road that I have dated, right? Like since being injured, and I totally just laid it out there, let her know like what to expect, like have a good line of communication. Probably talking for a couple weeks, and got the instas back and forth, so she knows the deal.
Yeah.
I can guarantee she know the deal. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I was about to start rapping there, but sorry.
All right.
Anyways, no. So we're going out, right? And we get like out of the car. I was loaded up when she got there. She knew she had to drive. I'm like, okay.
Okay. So when she got there, you were already in your car and everything.
Yeah, because we were like running late. I think we had like whatever. I was already loaded up. Didn't want to make her do all that, anything. So it's all good. And we get out, and then it's like she expects me to like push myself in my chair. I'm like no, sorry, like I need some help. Remember the whole arm thing. And we get up.
So let me back you up a little bit. So you set her up with listen. this is my disability. This is how I got hurt. I can't really move my arms
I got
or
like
anything else.
more legs. I got some core strength, but my
Okay.
arms, not too
Yeah.
functional. Got some
Okay.
shoulder, but yeah, gonna need help with
All right.
X, Y, and Z. Like
Okay.
straight up with her. And go, and she's like expecting me to push myself. I'm like, just still sitting here. So
Yeah.
like, okay, need a little help, and like reiterate it again. Get up, to.
Were you playful all the time? Did you get serious at any moment or?
Dude,
Did you get
totally.
offended, or-
You know me. I'm like just lighthearted
Yeah,
about it.
absolutely.
Like obviously I'm not gonna like be like,
Yeah.
are you kidding me? Like
Yeah.
seriously? Like
Yeah,
this
take me
is-
home right now.
This is terrible.
Take me
Like
home right
no, totally joking about
Okay,
it, trying to like
okay.
keep her smiling, whatever.
Yeah.
Get up to the table, order some food and drinks and stuff, and the food comes. She's just like chowing away, and I'm just like, yeah, can I get some
I'm
help?
hungry
Like,
too.
can I have a bite? And she's like, you can't. I'm like, and
Like
I'm
nothing
just
has changed from you pushing
I'm
me
just
into the
like,
restaurant
oh
somehow.
God, this is
Yeah.
brutal, and it's just like.
Yeah.
Just kind of strained, and it just wasn't
right
it
fit.
wasn't ideal, and
Yeah.
hung out again like one more time, and it just like it just like wasn't there,
Yeah.
and just move on,
Yeah.
just got to move on, and then get that text like, okay, cool, that's fine, and I'm
Yeah.
like,
All right.
okay,
Did you
yeah,
not go to the
sorry.
last 2 dates with me?
Yeah.
Like, were you not there?
It's
Yeah.
like, did you not just text me with your hands? This whole Siri
Oh
thing,
my
like
God.
whatever. Another one more quick one. Like first time going out with one of these girls I dated. First time taking me down my ramp out of my car, straight up turns me sideways and tips me off the side out of my truck.
No.
Yeah, valet luckily was there and caught me.
Oh my
and, like,
God.
Yeah, and like helped like lift my chair back like onto
Yeah.
the ramp, pulled me
Yeah.
down. And
That's
I was
hilarious.
like, I should have known. I should have known
That
from
should have
that.
been like,
that, yeah.
yeah.
Bad omen. Should
Yeah.
have known from that moment. Just
I got
Adios.
kind of a similar story to that where I met a girl online. We exchanged Instagrams.
yeah.
We've been talking for a couple weeks. I explained to her a few things about like going through rehab, what happened, this and that. So I go to pick her up, go to sushi.
Mm-hmm.
We pull up to the spot, and I'm like, "Hey, give me a second. I just got to pull my chair around." She's like, "Your chair?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm in a wheelchair." She's like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Did you not look at one photo on my Instagram?
Yeah.
Did you not like?" We had talked about me getting hurt. I like sometimes I maybe the
Did
guy,
you think she was like messing with you, trying to be like
A little
like
bit.
what chair? Like,
a little bit, but she kept a great poker face throughout the whole thing, and I was like, this is amazing. She's like, that's cool. I don't care. I think we like she totally played it off and was cool about it, so it wasn't like a complete mood killer. But at the same time, though, I'm like, how many dudes are you shuffling? Like
getting your
for you to
stories
forget about the
crossed up,
handicap
yeah.
one you're going on a date with tonight.
Yeah.
So.
oh my gosh, dude.
Which kind of brings me to the do's and don'ts of online dating. You
like
know?
straight up, man. Yeah.
Like the apps I go through every day. Let me just kind of go through some don'ts real quick. Do not put pictures on your profile that have a Snapchat filter. Number
No.
one,
no.
unless in real life you have bunny ears attached to your head, I don't want to see it. Dog
No,
face.
like especially pick number one.
it's
Like,
oh god.
like I already think you're childish. Like,
hey, yeah.
sick.
I'm already questioning what you really look like too.
Mm-hmm.
There are catfishes out there. People
Yeah.
who don't know catfishes, fake profiles, or like something is hidden behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Which I'm offended by because like my first picture is me in the wheelchair. So what are you hiding? Why are you have
Yeah.
a filter on your face?
Or like I love the one where it's like she's like 50 yards away doing a handstand on the beach. I'm like,
Yes.
sick.
Sick.
Cool. I can't wait to click on that and really just study what I'm missing from the first picture.
I'm more frustrated about like I get it, yoga's a thing. But if like 3 out of 4 of your pictures are yoga poses, I'm over it. Like it's cool
Yeah.
to see you're that flexible. Is it somewhat sexy? Sure. But really if like that's all you're gonna post is yoga poses, like I know you're not that zen, and
You're already like yoga bumble girl, like in the
Yeah,
phone, like before you even do anything. You want to see all sides of somebody.
yeah, absolutely.
You want to like put like some well-roundedness
Yeah.
to your profile, and then group photos too. Like
Oh.
when it's like, dude, like for real. All right, so your
Which one are
first
you?
picture, yeah, and you always get your hopes up. You're like, oh, is
Yeah.
it that one? And
Is
you're
that
like,
one on the
no,
far right?
it's
No.
not.
No,
You're like,
no.
you gotta know that. That's
Yeah.
not the right one to put up there, right?
Just be careful because I mean, like, sometimes you have a hotter friend and it totally distracts me, and now I'm just swiping left.
Or maybe not even necessarily hotter, but just someone else's type. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you just like, especially your first picture. Come on. And
That's
if you
rough.
have too many group pictures, I'm already tired. I don't
Yeah.
care. Like,
Yeah.
no, like I'm not like gone. Like, I'm not gonna try and decipher which one. And that always bothers me too. And just like the basic ass like quotes,
Oh,
you know, like for like
live, love, laugh.
oh my God, like literally living my best life.
Yes.
Like come, like if Trey Kennedy has made fun of you at any point in his like comedy routines in the last like 2 years, like you're already annoying me.
The other thing that bugs me too, and maybe you don't notice this as much as I do, but like, so I got tattoos, right? But when a girl has one tattoo on her arm and every picture's like this, or like this, like I gotta show off my one tattoo. Like, come on, like that's just not cute. You know what I mean? Like, just get over it. It's cool you got a tattoo. I'm glad you sat through your little 1 hour tattoo. It's pretty. We'll talk about it on our first date, but like, you don't need to showcase it. Also, too, though, I would love to hear from you guys what you think are some don'ts for guy profiles.
Yeah, totally.
Obviously, we need help, so.
Yeah,
If you guys have any
clearly
don'ts
single,
for us, please throw those out there.
I'm
We'd
guessing
love
like
to
too
hear that.
many gym photos.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, I probably should put my shirt on more of my pictures. You know what I mean? Me being shirtless in my underwear probably doesn't work for most girls.
You know what else is annoying? Like, and I think this is probably the number one epidemic of 2019 is like, dude, just trying to like just swiping, like probably just like super swiping right on everyone just to like plug your Insta handle just to try and get followers.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, all right, chick, you're obviously gorgeous.
Yeah.
Right? Like, okay, like I'm, you know, got you laughing, whatever. Or they just don't even reply because it's just like, you're like, you know what? Like, I don't care. Like, you're so full of yourself.
Yeah.
And I don't like, I mean, just why do that? I mean, I know it's all like, this is the world we're living in. It's like content driven. You just want to get your followers up and, you know, get, you know, hashtag ad under your stupid photos. Yeah. But like authenticity wins every time.
Absolutely.
And if you're just trying to like plug your freaking socials, like bounce.
I also hate that like literally the first 3 questions I'm asked is like before a girl even says hi to me, sometimes I'll be like, "What happened to you?" I'm like, "Not even hello. How's
nice
your
to
day
meet
going?"
you.
No.
Yeah.
What happened to you? Yeah. Second question is the wheelchair real or is it an act or will you ever get out of it? I'm like, I don't respond to that. And the third one is always about like, hey, are you dead from the waist down? Which I mean is like, does your penis work? Yeah. So it's like literally, we're not even having a conversation yet. You already want to know all this personal information
like,
about me.
It's ease like, into it, ladies. You know, like
I mean, at least the 5th question down. You know what I mean?
Like, dude, it could be on the first like conversation, but just like,
come on,
we're humans for God's sake. Yes. I'm not just a piece of meat.
Yes. Well, let's talk about some of the do's. I really enjoy a no makeup picture. I really do.
Dude,
nice little no
let
makeup
it out
selfie.
there, straight up.
Let the natural beauty shine.
Yeah,
I mean, enjoy that one.
You just want to know what you're waking up next to, right, Sonny?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
exactly. You know, because half your makeup's going to probably be on my pillowcase anyways, which I have to wash, you know, with some good Tide. But how natural is that face?
No, I totally, like, and you could have a cute one too, like, just like beach hair, like no makeup, just whatever, man. Like, I want to know what you look like. I don't want like the filters. Yeah. You know, like, of course, everyone's going to, like, I'd be lying if I said I probably didn't have a filter on one of mine. But not, like, smooth skin filter, big, giant alien eyes filter. Like, dude, all this dumb stuff. Like, just be you. Like,
no quotes
don't
on
set,
mine either.
Like, false expectations.
No quotes.
Mm-hmm.
Quotes are a bad idea.
Yeah, none on yours?
No, I don't, no, definitely not. If anything, nothing but jokes. Like, I really love the cues that set up in some of the questionnaires now you have to fill out for apps. Like,
was that Hinge that started that? Was Hinge the one with the questions?
Hinge
that
or like, Bumble?
Sorry, I think Hinge followed suit. Yeah.
But I kind of like when they ask me, like, what is your like best trait? What is your most hidden talent? I'm like, I could sit for a really long time.
Mm-hmm. It's funny how many girls like pizza and Michael Scott, right?
Oh, pizza, yes.
Right?
And I really, pizza's overrated. Like, I think tacos are a lot better. Taco Tuesday. Yeah. All day, baby. Taco Tuesday.
Okay, Brian, take it down, man.
Sorry, bro. Lakers start soon.
No, dude, I love me some pizza. I love it all. I mean, I'm supposed to be gluten free, but that just annoys the shit out of me. So like, I don't follow that.
Yeah.
So I just like end up passing out every time I eat pasta or pizza.
You know what's crazy too is a lot of these apps, like a lot of these girls have such a well traveled life. It makes me feel like a real piece of shit. I mean, they're in France, they're in Italy, and they're in Paris. You know, and I'm over here. I've been to like Vegas twice. Yeah, you know, I'm like, there you go. Damn, you're really living it up, man. But I think that's cool though. Travel pics are always a plus.
Travel's dope for sure, especially if it's on your own credit card.
Absolutely.
You know,
yeah, right. You know, like someone else's yacht.
That's legit.
Yeah.
But I think authenticity always wins. Like, I think like if you can actually put something of substance on one of your questions or even your bio.
Yeah.
You know, and not just something that just looks cute and funny. Like, yeah, I obviously like I love a little bit of the chase. I want to explore. I want to ask you questions, but like I want to know like what I'm getting myself into too. You know, like like you know how attractive you are is like a big part of it. But like if I think you know you're kind of a dud too, I'm like whatever. Like that's a lot of work.
Yeah, just don't hide. You know, it's like there's a lot of times I'll match with a girl and she's having a kid or two. It's like that should be like a positive thing.
For sure, and you don't need to post pictures of your kid,
but like
you know, but just like
you have them,
lay,
you know,
lay it
cool.
out there. And I think that's something that we could really get into. I think just being upfront and transparent about your situation, yeah. But like regardless, you know, those circumstances, like just put it out there because it's gonna hurt a lot more once someone shows interest, and then pulls back because of what it was you were hiding. It's gonna make you more insecure about it. And dude, like I could totally relate because like before I put myself back out there again, it was like I wanted to be like, oh shit. So just waist up only like anytime I was taking pictures because I was like so wildly insecure about it. But it felt a lot worse when you're like, oh yeah, so I just want to like let you know. And then that conversation dies. And it's like it only took me like one time for me to be like, yo, if I'm gonna be out there, I gotta know. I gotta know who's down for it.
It's liberating, isn't it?
It is, man.
Liberating.
You have to get uncomfortable.
I mean, I think that's the thing that we'll always talk about is being uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at like my Instagram circa 2014, 2013, not a lot of pictures of me in a wheelchair. If you look at it now, there's not a picture I take without it.
Yeah.
And by me owning my shit and owning the chair, it has springboarded my love life, career opportunities, friendships. Because I think people appreciate the fact that you're going through something real, but you're all about it. Hey, like
it's like law of attraction.
This is my situation, but I'm gonna embrace it, and I'm all about it.
When you radiate that confidence, and you know you're open to having a conversation about things, like dude, you're gonna attract that confidence. You're gonna get those like quality people, and not just you know filtered BS like you know quotes and nothingness, and just like see where it goes.
So
down the road.
basic.
It's just dumb.
You know,
but again, it all comes back to me to being authentic and communication, and then just going from there. Like, obviously, I think attraction's a huge thing. I wouldn't get into a relationship I wasn't attracted to my partner, you know. But straight up, it just takes a while, man. You just gotta explore. You just gotta talk it out. See if they're your ride or die. You know, see if they can flow with your bullshit and see if you can handle theirs and see if you can work through it together.
I really want to know everybody else's questions though, because I know there's more questions that we didn't answer.
Can someone tell me what's wrong with me?
Yeah, I mean,
like please.
I'm gonna stay away from that voice.
Yeah.
But yeah, questions you guys have about us, about disabilities, about relationships that you guys deal with, we'd love to answer them. So as you're watching this, go ahead and comment. You know, do something so we could definitely answer those and kind of approach them. And maybe through our honesty, you guys can find some answers and maybe kind of get over maybe a rough patch, a tough spot, a slump. You know, so just let us know.
Especially some of you guys that you know are maybe able bodies that have dated someone in a wheelchair, some of the things that were difficult for you, you know, that maybe you want more clarity on or just, you know, can bring to the table. And then obviously the people that maybe haven't put themselves out there, like, what are you struggling with? And, you know, how can we help you out with that?
That's all we're about is helping.
Yeah. You know,
and be Meals on Wheels, but
empower, entertain, always keep it wheel, you know,
always wheel,
you know, but, yeah, I mean, I think one thing we could finish with, Sonny, that I think would be a cool thing is I want to hear, like, what are you looking for now in a relationship?
Gotcha. Yeah. You know, that sounds really cheese, but I'm looking for the girl version of you. You know what I mean?
Who says I'm not bad boy?
No, I mean, but in all honesty, it's like I've kind of realized over the years I need to find somebody that I have a lot in common with, but I'm almost looking for that best friend relationship that I could also make into a girl. You know what I mean? Like, because at the end of the day, it's like you can only spend so much time. Are we having technical difficulties here?
Just keep going. We're good.
Okay. You know, at the end of the day, I'm always looking for that girl that I can spend time with doing some of my favorite things, but I also want to have somebody I can learn from too, you know? So it's like,
totally,
it's a combination of, I have a best friend. We do the things I like to do, sports, we go and do some fun, you know, try some new places to eat, do some cool stuff like that. But also I'm learning a lot from her, you know, like she brings a certain elements to the table that I don't know a lot about and I can learn from. Because I never want to be in a relationship that I feel like I know everything. I always want to be learning, and the best way to do that is finding a partner who's always challenging you.
Yeah, love it.
What about you, big guy?
Man, I think I just want that person that can just like surprise me and make me realize like I had no idea that like life could be this good, and just that person that you could do literally nothing with and still just like die crying, ugly laughing, ugly crying, laughing, like all of that, and just like be able to have like, deep intellectual conversation, and someone that, you can totally just go out for burgers at a dive bar with, or someone that you could, take down the red carpet,
Red carpet.
Someone that,
things.
Is, down to communicate, because that's always huge. I want someone like nurturing that I know will be like a good mother to my baby wolves, my freaking wolf pups. And yeah, man, just, I'm still looking, and we'll find out when it happens. But
I think another thing that we didn't hit on too that we both really want is somebody who's family orientated. Our families are very important to us.
Huge.
So we got to finding somebody who has that same type of background is huge too. That and the nurturing part, I always forget about that. But it's almost like we want to prove our independence in some areas.
Yeah.
But I would love to have a girl that fought me on that.
I'm not looking for a nurse or caregiver, but someone that loves me enough to want to do, whatever needs to be done.
We didn't make that clear either. We're not looking for a caregiver.
No.
We never want to blur that line.
No.
We never want to blur that line.
I already got my mijo. Ruben.
Yes.
I already got my boy. Sorry.
Taken. I got a great caregiver too. And I will always have that situation figured out in my life.
Yeah.
If I physically can't do it, I will have somebody that will do that for me. I'm looking more for somebody who doesn't mind doing it, but in a loving, nurturing way, not as, oh my God, I have to do this for this guy.
Because you have to be able to live your own life. You have to be like, I want that person to be able to go out with their friends, and like have fun, like have that girl time. I want to have my guy time.
Oh, absolutely.
I just, like
me and you, baby.
I could not, like, you got to be able to have that independence, and you got to be able to have your own space and time, and then, be able to enjoy the time together, obviously more than almost anything. But
well, I think codependency is a huge
big problem.
Big problem.
I've struggled with it.
Yeah.
My first relationship, it was a learning process because I was still so insecure and unhappy in my own skin that my happiness like was reliant on that person, and then being around, and then it sucks. But again, having to fail and like just thicken your skin through that failure and through that trial and error, it's like you got to just stick with it, no matter how uncomfortable it is, because you're gonna get better. You got to keep searching and keep, working on yourself in any way that you can. Yeah. Someone that's like obviously going to challenge you and make you a better person, but you got to be able to do that for yourself too, because, you don't want to be someone's life coach either.
You got to be able to stick it out. I always tell any girl I meet, like within the first couple months too, I'm like, hey, it's going to be the honeymoon phase and we're going to have a great time. But there's always going to be a point in this relationship where it's just going to hit the fan.
What's your cutoff, dude? What's the, like how many weeks, months, whatever, like when's the usual like average cutoff?
For me, it's actually shorter. It used to be 6 months where like, okay, this is serious. For me, it's 3 months now. Yeah. I give it 3 months because I've met girls that want to jump headfirst into the situation and be like, I love you, I want to have your babies. And then maybe 2 months into, they realize, okay, this is different. Doesn't mean bad, but different. And all of a sudden, it's like they put so much out there. Now it's like, it's just too much. Yeah. The flow is crazy. So for me, it's 3 months. It's like, and I always like, now I know how to pace myself too. Like where I'll tell a girl, yeah, it's exciting in the beginning, but realize we're going to go through a few things. And not until we go through that bump, because I know it's coming. There's going to be some type of wall we hit. Once we get past that wall though, I'm like, okay, we're good. Like this is solid. So I give 3 months. What about you?
I think it fluctuates. I think one thing that's different with me, like maybe not different, but just me specifically is like, I'm always like on the go. I always like going to games, concerts, traveling, doing a lot of things. So that like almost like makes a like honeymoon phase last longer. Yeah. But it comes to the point where like, no, like the real shit needs to start like coming out now. You got to start like communicating on a deeper level. You can't sustain that. And you got to like, it's all like give and take, and you got to be able to do the nothing stuff. Yeah. That's what being able to have that person that you could do absolutely nothing with, Like
Yeah.
I have been on a ride home from Vegas, and like not till Barstow said anything, just
Oh,
waiting
that's
for
brutal.
something to happen. I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, wait, really? Like,
Yeah.
okay, adios, muchacha. Like,
Yeah.
not happening,
Yeah.
dude. Like, and it just, yeah, it sucks, man.
Well,
So you gotta
personally,
go
I
do
felt too. Vacations make or break a relationship. By the way,
that. Happen. Yep, broke mine.
I've had like some great like relationships, and we went on vacation together, and it was like, oh my god, I hate you too, and it's like we're done.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you kind of put yourself on an island there, and you get to really see what that person's all about. But yeah, it kind of comes down to, as much fun as it is going to concerts, games, and everything else you do, I kind of want somebody I can go and like hang out with, have a glass of wine, cook in the kitchen, and watch a movie.
Yeah,
And that's just as exciting.
totally.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, again, it goes
Well,
back
because then
to
you're not reliant on the form of entertainment in front of you,
Nah.
as just opposed to what your true
me and
connection is. You know,
yeah.
chemistry.
Chemistry, which is so important these days and gets overlooked. The
Straight
grass
up,
is
man.
never greener on the other side.
You
You
know,
know, the real relationships are the ones that you can actually sit there and be like, look, we're going to figure this out.
you gotta seed your own damn lawn.
There it is.
You gotta
man.
fertilize that relationship.
There it is.
We should just end on that.
Yeah, we should. Just
Yeah,
fertilize it.
fertilize the shit out of your relationships. And that's it.
And that's it for this one,
if
huh?
I could drop this mic, I would drop the shit out of it right now.
If I could grab this mic and throw it at Allie's head right now, I would.
Would you dodge it?
Probably
Okay.
not, yeah, no.
All right. Well, yo, if you guys like what you hear, please like, share, and subscribe.
Yes, tell all your friends about
You know,
it.
we want to like empower as many people as possible, and you know, we want to hear your feedback. Answer whatever questions you guys have, so we can keep coming back and doing the damn thing. I have a good time doing it.
I do too.
Yeah. Well, we'll see you guys next time. This is Wheel Talks. Always here to empower, entertain, and keep it wheel, baby.
See you guys next week.
All right. Later.